Hey, 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 traders, and welcome back to Wednesday. Wednesday, right? All day. Let's see. Yeah, Wednesday, the October 4th. And this is day number 3 in my coverage of trading FAANG. So we'll start off here with the top. We'll go alphabetical order with Apple. Okay, Apple, you can see here, I still have a sell level up here, 156.27, a buy level down here, 149.69, and I've got liquidity levels, one here and one here. So this trade does not look too exciting to me at all. I really don't see anything that's going to happen here. I would be happy to buy or to sell Apple anywhere there. Moving on to Amazon. Now you can see we still have this trade open. We are long Amazon, and our target is this liquidity up here, and our stop is this level down here at 149. Actually, we should have a little bit more. It should be a little bit more. 146 is what we're going to look for on that one. 144. So that's going to actually be our target on Amazon, and our stop is 949.50. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. Not too excited about this trade. We'll have to see what happens when we get to this liquidity level here. I may move the stop to break even, but that's really the trade we opened on Monday. Moving on to the diamond, we can see here that the market is higher as I anticipated. Liquidity here, but I'm not interested in buying it till we get down to this level down here. Facebook, again, we still have a trade on Facebook going on right now. Pre-market Facebook is, yeah, it's just down slightly, so this trade could work. You can see our target is up here at 171.91, where there's a bunch of liquidity, and our stop is again just down here at our stop looks like it's 168.43. So those are the only two trades we have working. Rather disappointing with FAANG. I mean, you have the diamond and the IWM, which we'll talk about now. We'll first talk about Google. Google, we really wanted to buy Google yesterday, just did not get a fill. However, we've moved the limit up here to 951.40, so we'll have to see what happens when we get to that level. Liquidity's down here, so this one I'm not as excited about anymore as I was yesterday. We'll have to see what happens with that. IWM powers ahead again yesterday, just powers ahead. Just should have bought this breakout, but it is what it is. This is a week on FAANG specifically, so I'm going to trade what I talked about trading. Netflix, again, really interested in buying Netflix off of this level because it happens to be where liquidity and a good strong level exist. NVDA. NVIDIA, nothing really exciting on NVIDIA. Maybe I'd short NVIDIA up here, 183.04. We'll have to see what that happens, what happens there. And QQQ, again, the QQQ really lagging the other markets. We have the diamond, we have the Dow powering ahead, all-time highs. We have the small caps powering ahead, all-time highs. The spider powering ahead, all-time highs. And the QQQ is in I am not going to move mode for whatever reason. Well, we know why, because FAANG's not moving. So, week 3 or day 3 of trading FAANG, we only have 2 trades, Amazon and Facebook. No, I can't even remember now. We have Amazon and Facebook. Yeah, these 2 trades. So we'll see how they do. We have a report coming out in 10 minutes from now. We have a jobs report. Now I wanted to do a little bit of a rant and a talk right now about Trump aides deliver him a short list of Fed candidates. You know, when you have an overvalued market, guys, you always have to look for what events could be and we definitely have a bubble. You always have to look for what events could be the catalyst or trigger, that black swan, that will start that correction happening. And personally, I think there are several out there that now, some people say, well, it might be North Korea, Steve. Well, I don't think so, because if North Korea, the only thing that would really make the market have a correction after North Korea is the market would already know, the smart money would already know if North Korea was a serious threat. And they don't. Obviously they don't. They're not expecting North Korea to be a serious threat, because if they did, the market would be moving already based on that, and it's not. So it's not North Korea. Now, could North Korea have a nuclear bomb and set it off? Yeah, that's possible. And, or could a large-scale conflict happen and that could set off? Yeah, that's possible too. But I think that even if that happens, the probabilities, anyways, of those things happening are very short. Whenever you're looking for a black swan event and believe me, I've lived through so many of these, sadly, you have to look for things that are really not foreseen yet. So anyways, cut a long story short, this could be one, all right, bottom line. So Trump aides deliver him a short list of Fed candidates. Now, we all know that the Fed did what some people think is genius and other people think is criminal by introducing quantitative easing and flooding the system with free money. Now, it's debatable, because it certainly worked for now, right? It certainly worked for now. Now, I'd like you to think of something. If you had a Ponzi scheme, and you'll take Bernie Madoff, for example, and Bernie Madoff got fired from his job, would that Ponzi scheme be revealed? Maybe, maybe not, right? I personally have said it for a long time that this has been a Ponzi scheme. Now, a lot of people really, really don't like it when I say stuff like that, but the fact of the matter is, if you understand anything about fiat currencies, it's when a government intervenes to manipulate its currency price so that it can stay competitive on a global and international scale. And that's exactly what Yellen and her crew has done. They manipulated the amount of currency in the system so that after the financial crisis happened, the system would remain flush with cash and flush with money for easy borrowing. It's called a fiat currency. Okay, it's a very corrupt thing. It's a bad thing, and ultimately it devalues your dollar because you have so much in circulation. Just think of it like a company that keeps issuing shares, okay? Now, some people might say, well, that's okay, right? But what would happen if you had a company, even if the company was making money, which the United States does, what would happen to that company if they just kept issuing shares, right? Even Apple. If Apple just kept solving its problems by issuing shares and issuing shares and issuing shares and issuing shares, eventually the float would get diluted. Well, it's the same with a country. A country's shares are its currency. And eventually those shares become less and less valued in comparison to other countries. Now, if everybody in the world does it, then it becomes a normal thing. And, it's not such a big deal. But not everybody in the world is doing it. You have Eurozone doing it. Canada didn't do it. There's a number of other countries out there that did not basically adjusted interest rates, but they didn't increase money supply, and they didn't print like crazy and do buyback programs with all that printed money. So, long story short, whoever takes over this position, it is my hope. Now, some people say, why are you being so negative, Steve? Why do you want the economy to crash? I don't. I do not want the economy to crash. I want the mistakes to be found before it becomes too late. I want the mistakes to be found before it becomes too late. Because, you know what? If we found out that QE was a major disaster and that the devaluation of the currency takes place, we can get over it and we can get on with it. Let's find it out. Let's tighten up the float, which they're doing right now, which is called QE tightening, right? Where they're flooding the market now with all those bonds that they bought back. And let's get on with it. Now, hopefully, whoever this new Fed chairman is, but this could also be something that would trigger a market correction. Remember, whenever you have an overvalued market, do you guys remember that story, the straw that broke the camel's back? That's what markets are like, right? That's what markets are like. Whenever you have, that's not a bad one. Whenever you have a market that is overvalued, it's something like this. There's all this weight on this market for it to move, and that one little straw is usually the catalyst, or a lot of people call it the black swan. But it's never a black swan. That's kind of a joke. It's always one catalyst that is too much for the market to take. A lot of people will say, but Steve, the economy is doing well. Yes, the economy is doing great. We are improving internationally, domestically, all across the world. Everything is improving. However, it still does not justify the price earnings multiples of the S&P 500 as a whole. So, I am thinking potentially this could be it, depending on who Trump puts in
My
there.
life is global, but I keep my family's future close to my heart. Scotia Wealth Management helped.
Stuff happens. Oh my gosh. Whenever you go on websites and stuff starts playing automatically, it drives me crazy. Anyways, there you have it. This is what I think could be what could deflate the market and break the camel's back. I think so. I just keep pointing these things out. Trade wars, nah. All these things. Just keep this stuff in mind, guys. Okay? Stay aware and alert, because something will pop the bubble. There is a bubble. Something will pop it. Don't hide your head in the sand, and pretend like there is no bubble. There's a bubble, and something will change that bubble. Anyways, bye for now. Hope you liked the review.